I want to talk to you a little bit about nutrition counseling in the dental office. There are very, very few dental offices that have, formal nutrition programs. And I think going forward, it's going to be impossible for us in an advanced prevention model to separate that out. It's a necessary component. We can't have patients with morbid obesity and then start talking about addressing this oral systemic connection without the nutrition. And one really important part of that, and what I'm going to talk about today, is rethinking your drink. I like that. That's kind of a catchy phrase. Last week, San Francisco formally put warning labels on sugary drinks. And I think this is a component where we start in the learning lab. And what I did is I made up some props of, some of the bad guys. These are some of the really bad guys. And I hot glued a tube with the corresponding amount of sugar. This is 19¼ teaspoons that's in that drink. Here's a different culprit, 18¾ teaspoons of sugar. When we're trying to get this message across to young people, when they see that actual amount of sugar, it's a heck of a lot different than saying, stay away from sugary drinks. So the education component of this and the Learning Lab in particular, with its very innovative approach to facilitating learning in young people, we have to change the paradigm, because preventive dentistry historically has been a failure. There's as much disease or more than there ever has been, and the major component of this is diet. So how do we practice dentistry without talking a considerable amount of time about diet? And if we're going to address this entire oral systemic connection, nutrition counseling is going to be a pretty significant component going forward. One last thought in this nutrition section, I always like to give a patient an alternative. So if I'm talking to them about taking something away, I want to give them something in return. And I just want to show you a particular little thing that I've found personally that is helpful to me, and that is sparkling water. I think sparkling water is a very, very nice alternative, very inexpensive, and it provides a little bit of zing in your drink. It's not like saying, to go from a soft drink to go to water is pretty darn difficult. And sparkling water, for me, is a nice intermediate where you can kind of learn to wean yourself off of soft drinks.